A shuttle floats through the dark of space. Aboard it, the sole survivor of an unknowable horror. Starship 6, Sole Survivor, is our love letter to one of the sci-fi classics. Meet Erebus, lifeboat of the ill-fated Persephone. Typhon, tasked by the company to find the missing ship. And the sole survivor herself, Maddie Walker. Hi, I'm Ben from Second Dynasty. We make spaceships. We started out designing for 3D printing, but now you can get the digital files or a physical print as well. Back us on Kickstarter today and help us bring the massive Persephone to your tabletop later in the year. Every euro of funding counts, and the more we bring in, the more awesome bonuses get added to your pledge. So secure Erebus for your tabletop on Kickstarter today before the company can get there first. Hey guys, Ben here from Second Dynasty, pulling a late nighter because I made some mistakes with basically when we were timing the campaign for. Maya is being a bit of a pain in the butt right now. It crashed the last time I started it, so hopefully I do have a second scene up, so it could be related to that, it could be related to memory. But hi to everyone that's on the chat, thank you for joining me. In case you don't know what this live stream is all about, we at Second Dynasty have been running a Kickstarter for the last 23 days, and we are now within the final hour, and in fact I think we've only got about 40 minutes left, and yeah, it crashed again. I think maybe just this scene is a little bit too intensive. So this is a collection of some of the items we've unlocked in the campaign so far. So let's get down to it. I thought today we would look at the Kickstarter, and whilst we're doing that, we have one final challenge, and I'm going to mention it up the top. We have an amazing 475 backers contributing 39,307 euros so far, and we have 41 minutes left. And there are two things we need to sort out before the end of it. One is we need to make sure all the final graphics are in place, and one thing you might notice is that now we have 15 instead of 14 unlocked stretch goals. In the last couple of days we've added these Benjamin and eggs and the brand new endurance model of the Erebus shuttle, and we'll talk about all of that shortly. We have of course a link to this live stream. Hopefully we can pull in a couple of extra people. And the important thing is, if we come down to the bonus stretch goal situation, you can see we've successfully unlocked all of our stretch goals that we put out. This is a weird graphics for, so it actually works out great. Will there be more in the future? Who knows? How is that possible? Well, we could get into that in a little bit. If you guys in the chat could just let me know that I'm coming through all right, I'd appreciate that. But yeah, these social stretch goals, actually this doesn't look like it's updated for some reason, because, oh no, we are sitting on 12, that's why. So with the social stretch goals, these are things where you can contribute by spreading, liking, commenting. There's a whole list of things that are shared here. And of course, down below there is a link in the description where to find this Kickstarter campaign. And like I said, it only has a very limited time left. We're down to 39 minutes. But if in those 39 minutes we can do some Instagram shares. Now this I think is the quickest way to get this from 12 to 13 points. And the reason I say that is because here at 13 credits we get this amazing suit display, and we'll look at a model that has that in a bit, hopefully. And yeah, what I have provided down in the description below is a link to a Dropbox. Now that Dropbox folder is only going to be active for the next 24 hours. If you guys that have Instagram can get on that and repost some of these pictures using the hashtag Sole Survivor Kickstarter, all one word, we currently have on Instagram, 25 posts. Let me refresh that and double check that that's the case. There we go. If we can get that to 50, which means, like, for example, if only 10 of you in the chat were able to, post 4 pictures of that in here. If we can get that to 50, that unlocks that final point. And if we can do that in the next 35 minutes, that means we unlock everything in the campaign that we've revealed so far. All right, with that out of the way, because it is time critical, so hopefully you guys can get to the crunch. I'm going to show you guys what we've been working on, what's in the campaign to some degrees. I'm going to show off some models. I'll see what I can do. I am burning the midnight oil here. It is 20 past 11 at night. I very poorly prepared for this campaign, but let's see who's in the chat to say hi to. We've got Sam, Shadow Lager, Solo Spirit, Shergel, Clive, Lillian, Aerospace Smith, and yeah, those are the guys that are participating at the moment. So welcome, guys, and don't be afraid to speak up. Hey, Eric. I really appreciate interacting with the chat. I'm going to try to do it a little bit today. We are going to be a little bit stressed. So this is the idea. The next 40 minutes or so, we're going to count down the end of the campaign. I'm going to walk you guys through what was included, what we've unlocked, show you some things, both physical and in 3D. Again, important to note, in this Kickstarter, if you wanted the physical Erebus, the one where we printed out in premium PLA, very high quality for you, the Kickstarter prices end today. So if you want that, get in on it. So, and of course it's open to anyone. So even if you are like a lazy printer, and just want a really high quality print where you don't have to fuss about the settings or whatnot, that is an option. So we certainly have plenty more production that we can sort out for that. So let's see, what have we actually unlocked? We've unlocked a ton of miniature variants, some things good, some things horrible. There are additional models that we haven't released yet, and we're kind of holding on to some things because basically, let me take things down to delivery here and I'll walk you guys through what's going to happen next since we're right at the end of the campaign. So basically, the Kickstarter ends in less than an hour. What happens then is Kickstarter has a new feature which has late pledges. So we can continue to collect certain pledges. It won't be for all, but the sort of like, I think the ones that are going away are mostly the the 20 euro Erebus no frills version, for example, and I think the add-on thing we're taking off as well. So essentially, we'll have about a week where people, if they miss the campaign, still find it, they can still make a pledge. Apparently this is a new feature with Kickstarter. We're trying it out. If it means that it's another week delaying payment, we'll probably turn off the spigot pretty quick. But in about a week, we will be launching a My Mini Factory Frontier. And during the period when we're delivering, because at that stage, we haven't got the money from Kickstarter, but we've got confirmation of who has paid successfully and who's been kicked because they couldn't sort out payments. And we will start integrating that and distributing files. So the Erebus is good to go. It's fully prototyped. It has a manual and everything. The Typhon, which is the larger ship we're going to talk about, actually has a fair few months of additional development required. I will talk about that very shortly when I show you the model. And the add-ons will be prioritized over stretch goals. The power loader is already ready, and in fact I'm going to show that off in a minute. And so is the tactical miniatures for the Erebus. The Soul Survivor miniatures are ready to go as well. The tools should be done pretty quickly. We haven't test printed them, but they're not very complicated. And the vehicles might take a couple of weeks to roll out. After that, we do stretch goals for anything that isn't already available. Basically, if there is a miniature variant, I think all we need to do is make a pre-supported version and we're good to go. So that's basically it. And then, of course, if you have a physical print, it's going to take a bit longer to get those, and the order of processing is based on your pledge number. Hey Tamsin, good evening to you too. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that, and of course, the other thing just to mention is we do have a Tribes, which is our Patreon-like service. We put out a new vehicle every month for a $5. That is a $5 US. The reason we did it in euros is because you can only either do the euro or the Swedish crown. The euro, recently at least, was on parity with the US dollar. I understand it's not anymore, but it's relatively close. It looks a lot less exotic than, say, the Swedish crown. Next month's vehicle, we're doing some militarized power loaders. The power loaders are really cool. Excited about that. I love mechs. And of course, I've absolutely loved doing this. The one thing that you might note changed on the page, a little bit further down, is where the funds are all going to. And this hasn't changed, but we plan to do the Persephone, which is a much larger ship, to which the Erebus shuttle is actually the lifeboat. This is our true homage to like the Nostromo from Alien. I'm pushing this back to March 2025 for good reason. A part of that is Mongoose. Good news, they've approved our next campaign with them. So we will be doing a 5th Frontier War miniature campaign. We have to push it back to late August, however, just because of the way that the summer holidays are going to work out. There was some delays with approval. It's come through just today, which is fantastic. So we can start working on that very soon. But basically, yeah, that's the process. Now let's talk about where we're at. And I'm going to do a little refresh because it's a habitual thing. I don't think we'll see many pledges coming in right now at the top of things. Usually the final 48 hours, by this point, most people have pledged. All right, so let's go and refresh the Instagram, see if any of you have been busy little beavers. Oh, we've got one. We've got one. Very nice. All right, a good start. You didn't miss me in the shed out, so I was late. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to when you said that, Tamsin, so all good. So yeah, let us get into Maya. Oh, and there will be some bonus models from Kaishiniku and Papsicles coming. This is the draft for the finished thank you message and speaking about the stretch goals we have unlocked. But let me get into Maya, and immediately if I turn off this sort of like camera safe area, you can kind of see the scene. It's a bit of a mess. It's all forced perspective, and this was to make a certain graphic on the website. But we do have like a little bit of a look at some of the little vehicles we have made. We've got this nice little survey vehicle. It's got tracks on it. We've got our workshop here. These are the ship minis. So it is kind of like a little bit all over the place. You have the Erebus itself, which we'll be looking at, I think, in the other scene. We've got this little hopper. I really like how this worked out. Alvin spent a fair amount of time on it, but we got it sort of down pat. We have our power loader, which is fully articulated. Well, by fully I mean shoulders, hips, and feet, and even this little top piece here comes off. I think I killed the hierarchy though, so I would have to demonstrate it elsewhere. And then of course we have all these Soul Survivor miniatures and Xeno Benjaminin, or Xenominin, I think we're calling him, or the Benjamorph. He is quite freaky. This is a joke item, obviously, but like you can kind of see that he has a Hannes, an Albin, a Lieselot, or Lieselotten, and a John in the tubes, and then of course the face mask actually holds a second jaw which has a second Benjamin inside of it. So just a joke object. This is a running gag within Second Dynasty. John started a cult. I thought it was based on me, but it was based on some kind of like elder horror sort of creature based on me, I guess. So No, the Benjamorph is not a blessed creation, Sam. So, yeah, I don't have the eggs imported in here just yet, but I'm going to try and see if this scene will open for me. Erebus and Typhon here. And this is sort of like, this is just, the scene I have here is for, just for rendering, which is why maybe it was a bit too heavy, or, you know, I've had Photoshop open, I'm sure it's been hogging all the memory on my PC. Because Adobe is just a RAM hoe. Right. Lambert, you admire it. Ash, I admire its purity. Yes. Eldritch horror, yeah. So here we have Typhon, and people that have been following will note that Typhon now has its full detail. There's a few small things I need to fix, but the exterior is completely done. Now there's going to be a lengthy process of breaking this up, but why don't we take the top off? And this might be a work in progress with a few objects that won't go away, but we have our sort of like sleeping area, our kitchen, dining area. I will probably do more customized furniture to fit with like a more, like a better aesthetic than what we currently have. You got your sort of power plant, which I don't know if this will be the final version or something similar. You've kind of got this little floor thing that comes off, and you can get down into the ventilation system, of course. You got the airlock at the rear, and then if we turn off deck B, and I think we also need to turn off the airlock. Wait, deck B is not the one we want, deck A is the one we want. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of get the gist. Actually, if I leave the airlock in for the time being, you can kind of see, you know, some of this crawl space in action. So some of these objects don't belong to the right layers, which is why we're seeing it this way. Also, these are the older versions of the power loaders. You can kind of see how primitive they were compared to the new ones that are completely articulated and rebuilt from the ground up. So it still shares some design principles, so it does look like it's related to our previous power loaders. But yeah, we have med bay here. We've got our cryo chamber room here with the lockers. You've got your fresher. You've got some showers. You've got your bridge. And you've got your computer room. Like, these will be getting detail passes as we get to printability. Then you have like, this is like, in the Alien RPG, they have these like air scrubber areas for that. And you can kind of see in some of the crawl spaces. Workshop, you know, life support. So it's designed to have like a functional layout. Now let me turn this off, and I'll turn off deck B, and you can see down into the crawl spaces below. So all these ventilation areas where the nasty Benjamorph can hide out, creep around, build a nest, you know. So yeah, that's where we're at with Typhon. So it's going to take a lot of months. It's all figured out, and obviously we have a huge track record of delivering ships, so hopefully you guys trust that we will get this out. And whilst we've been late with things like deck plans and things, actual 3D printable models, we've been pretty spot on with our predictions for the last several years. Right, let's turn on the Erebus. The Erebus itself, here we go. I'm just going to focus. Nice little ship, nice and complete. Let's take the top off, and you can see down here into the standard layout. Now if we get those Instagram posts, it's going to be even more cool stuff in here. So if I turn off the standard interior here and replace that with my endurance version, you can see a few modifications. We have beds, we have a sort of area for the cryo tubes down the bottom. We have an eating area. It's meant to support a crew of 3, but you could temporarily probably house a few more people if you had to. And the idea is this is an outfit with a galley. so that you could take a small crew interplanetary, for example. It's got its own fresher. These doors kind of close, and sorry, we've got an autosave going on. And here we go. This is the suit display that we're trying to unlock with those Instagram posts. So again, the links are in the description below. So if you go into our Dropbox folder, you can upload any of those pictures, attach the hashtag, and if we can get this to 50, we get that unlocked. But we only have like half an hour. No, actually less than that. What is it now? Let's see. I keep going to the wrong things. So we've only got 20 minutes, really. So you kind of got to spam that if you want to help. And I understand a lot less people use Meta products and whatnot, but that's what we've got going. So, yeah, we're up to 29 posts. If we can get it to 30, that gets unlocked. And, I mean, I made a variant in here too. Now, if we don't panic just yet, because it's quite likely that we will, make some kind of stretch goal or something on the Frontier, because Frontier's still fund a little bit for a couple of weeks after we've launched. But before I show off a few things, let me switch back to the original layout, because I want to import some new files, because we've got some fan servers coming up. So the campaign will be over soon, but not over, because we still have plenty more stuff. Not to mention the fact that eventually we are doing Persephone, and that will mean, some additional options. So I'm going to switch over to hopefully the right bloody screen. Let's see, if I go to not my close-up camera, but my second camera, and if I switch on a light, there we go. You can kind of see the interior here of the shuttle. Not really the best frame rate here by the looks of things, but you get the gist. Maybe if I turn on the full lights, it's even brighter and clearer. There we go. That's a little bit better. Sorry, this webcam's not really fantastic. Maybe I can play with the settings a little bit. And like, for example, zoom out just a tad. Is that working? Not really. It doesn't look like it. Oh well, it was a nice idea. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off. But what I might actually do instead is just go to my close-up cam. Yeah, unfortunately, the roof lights really aren't pleasant. But I can show off our beautiful... Now there is some blue tack involved because we haven't got this painted and this is resin, but here is our power loader. Come on, get off my hair and focus. There you go, and you will note this is a different miniature. We haven't shown this miniature off yet. So it's a repose by Albin. But yeah, the legs are articulated, the ankles, the arms, so you can, move these around, repose it a little bit. Once you get paint on that, that's going to be a lot tighter. The back's nice and detailed as well. Alvin did a fantastic job. And then, of course, we're going to have variants of these on our tribes in June. And then I guess I better hold up the real hero here, which is Erebus. And you can see a little bit closer some of the miniatures that Lisa Lot painted. I've thrown in some AVP alien warriors there. Sorry about the lighting, guys, it's not so good. But we did add some additional photographs to the campaign page so you can get a better impression of how this looks. Alright, let me get back to my chat because I have this. Okay, IG or a crapload of FB launch video shares or reactions. Yeah, the launch videos, it's like... Yeah, it's not doable in the time we have left. Unfortunately, so yeah, we'll work on that, I'm sure, but actually we're doing quite well here. Someone's doing God's work. Not that I believe in God, but we're up to 30 posts. So if, you know, everyone in this chat posted one, I know you can't because many people don't have Instagram, but we would be there already, right? So spam away. And I keep going into the wrong page. So I'm going to refresh this. We've got 18 minutes left. 18 minutes, people. I'd really love to change this to the 16 one before we end. Maybe I'll get cheeky, but Maddie died yet. I mean, we've got to do some more of these. And actually, oh, what's this, guys? Some fan service. So these aren't the final faces, but we got to talking about this suit and that scene, and yeah, we got some minis done up, and I'm sure these will go up on the Frontier or something as bonus items. But yeah, they you can see that it has the suit there. Oh, Maddie fell over. Oh, right, yes, I see now. Yeah, I mean, the alien probably got it right. So, yeah, I was just going to import these into Maya. We'll see if this works. But I don't know if it's going to make too much of a difference considering the limited time that we have. Let me put the top on the Erebus here, and what I might actually do is show off the... I've got to find this. The atmospheric version. So this is it here. It's just got, you know, you can kind of see some fans in there. You can see, oh, what on earth happened to that object? That doesn't look right. Huh. I'm going to have to look into that. So those wings are not supposed to look like that. I think there's a bit of corruption in the files, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I have to figure out what's going on with those. Fortunately, we have past versions, and I'm sure we can sort it out. But you get the general idea about some of the modifications there. If I turn that off, we've got the landing gear variant as well. This is intersecting at the moment, but you can kind of get an impression of what they're going to look like. Right? And, of course, we will have a variant of these things for our Typhon. So yeah. Whoa, engines. It's a glitch. It's not a glitch, it's a feature. Yeah, exactly. So I know for a fact John has done a crawling Benchimorph that can fit into the vents. We have several additional variants. I'm going to go back here. Like you can kind of see we have a lot more variants of Maddie than we have out. Most of it is like tool swapping and facial expression swapping and that sort of thing. But like we have some options to expand things. And then of course I'd love to do like the sort of like clutching the chest version. Let me scroll down. Oh, we got another backer. Yay. So with 15 minutes to go, let me refresh this again. 32. Oh, we're getting so close. We're getting so close. Didn't you model for the screaming face like you did for the model for the dressing face? I did do that, and actually no, Andre and I, that's Kai Shiniko, went back and forth on the poses. So the animator in me wants something a little bit more weighted to it. So I did do some facial alterations and that sort of thing to just make it feel a bit more horrified, and you know, change the body poses a little bit on some of them. Try to scroll down to wherever it is that we have oh yeah, we've got some new pictures. I think these were painted by Mon Capitan. We've got Albin's new the one thing I hate about Kickstarter is that the graphics are so, like, they're 680 pixels wide. I know why they've done it, to save on, you know, server bandwidth, but it sucks. Because I'd really like to show off the products more. But yeah, where did it go? Yeah, so we have like this version here, for example. I know it's quite small, but we could easily do like a chest burster Benjamin, for example. The egg is quite perverse. I think we did we did the graphics for that one and kind of made an animation. It's like in 4 stages. It kind of looks less like an egg and more like a weird lettuce. And then yeah, the Benjamin head comes out, of course. And so yeah, it's all fun and games for the most part. You know what? I'm going to go and contribute here just one post or something. Let's see what I can find. Maybe something I took today. Let's see. These are quite old, actually. Lisa took some nice pictures. This one we haven't had up. I don't think we've had any with this lighting. It's a bit blurry though, unfortunately. So maybe if I grab like this picture and then zoom in a bit, you kind of get the impression that they're waiting for something to come through. And yeah, we'll just go next, and then adjustments. We might add a tiny little vignette, and then we just need to hashtag it Soul Survivor Kickstarter. Share, and then if I refresh, we should be at least 33. Hopefully more. 38 posts. Gee, someone's doing a good job right now. I think we might crack this, guys. I think we might crack this. You know, I mean, honestly, this is a bit artificial pushing this all out. But you know, you never know who's going to see this, and I mean, we just got to pledge in now. Who knows? Someone might be watching this stream, or someone might be, you know, have seen it on Instagram and gone, oh, what's this? And tried to figure it out, because I don't think there are any direct links. Last I checked, you couldn't do that. But yeah, Lillian, I did make photos for Kai Shiniko. They were quite embarrassing. But this is something like when we were in animation school that we're encouraged to do. Like we often had like a face mirror on the desk. And there's a lot of animation principles that are, you know, applicable to miniature posing, because the whole idea with animation is you're supposed to make each frame look like it makes sense if it's viewed by itself or if it's in sequence, right? So there's like 12 principles of animation, like squash and stretch, like anticipation, and it's all the sort of like, you know, before you jump, you sort of like pull back and then you launch. So anticipation. There's a bunch of different books on it, really good materials that I think a lot of sculptors would actually benefit from seeing. 209 more comments on the campaign in 10 minutes, just in case. I mean, good luck with that. I picked the one to focus on that I think is the most achievable, and I think it honestly is. Lillian says, I did art in school. I have pics saved for reference, and I'm sure that those were found. If those were found, they would be odd. I'm sure. Yes. Yeah, alright. So, I like where this is going. I think we're quite possibly going to 44. Okay, it looks like we're going to reach this. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit behind the scenes. And I'm going to go into the story. See, the thing is, I need to check this anyway because it's very last minute. But basically, the story is where we show off all the pertinent information for the campaign page. I've gone over this. Hopefully, there's nothing missing. But basically, once we're financed, I can't change this page, which is why I'm trying to push for this to come through now, whilst we've still got 10 minutes left. And the way I prepare this is just to go down here to delete this page, image, add the one with the change. Now, I'm not going to save this until we actually know we've got 13. But I've got to load the graphics up. I'm going to preload them. So, and let's take that off. And we replace that with the social stretch goals with everything unlocked. There we go. And then, we need to do the one at the top, and also it would be uncouth not to show 50 or 50 there. So we need to get there. Let's see where we're at. Whoever is spamming this, I love you. 46, yeah, we're getting close. We're getting really close. I feel confident. So let's go up to the very top, because that also requires, changing the graphics, because we'll be getting one more. So fortunately I prepared the graphics, because Photoshop crashes my computer all the time when I've got Maya open as well. So let's see, I think it is 16 unlocked so far. So there we go. And all we need to do is save this when we have the 50. So I'm going to refresh this again. It won't have changed yet, but we got another pledge or two. We got 2 pledges. I thought it was at 76 just a second ago. So yeah, nice job. So let's refresh this. We got 46, 47. You know what? Why not just add one more post? Let's select from the computer, and let's actually go to our stretch goals. Why? Well, this is a pain in the butt. I need to go into my production folders, into images, into stretch goals. This is such a mess. And basically, why don't we post what we're actually looking to put up there? Next, the reason why we have been spamming Soul Survivor Kickstarter. Oh, it says 51 posts already. So, share. And yeah, it looks like we have reached 50. So, if I refresh this now, it should say 52, I think. If there hasn't been even more. Yes. Excellent. It's really nice to see these. And that means we can go and save the edited file now. So I will even put in 52 down the bottom to represent that. Thanks guys for pushing that over the edge. Great work. So we show it off there with the 50 shares. Once again, unfortunately, we didn't get any real people on the Facebook page anymore. I'm starting to think, most of our audience has moved on from Facebook. I think most people actually have. So it was really nice to see that surge, and look, it should be updated with 16 stretch goals, guys. You did it. Shergel, you created an Instagram page for this. MVP. That's above and beyond. Yes, you can stop Clive doing that. Good job. Fantastic work, everyone. And we now have 4 minutes left to go. Not too much is going to happen in that span. But I think it's been an incredible campaign. I can't wait to finish working on this ship. Of course, I can turn on, just as a preview, what we're talking about for the Persephone when it's built out. It's a very rough block out at the moment, but you can see the size of the ship. The Typhon is actually a very large ship. It's probably one of the widest we've built. You can see the Persephone's even wider. It has 5 decks rather than 3. In between each is a crawl space deck, and the overall shape is supposed to evoke a sort of Nostromo-ish. Like it's not meant to be a clone of the Nostromo. It's meant to be, a ship that feels like it fits into the alien universe. Just the same way that the Erebus shuttle, which will dock here with the back of the ship. That I think you get the gist. We're not trying to rip off Alien. We're trying to make stuff that feels like it can cohabit that universe or many other science fiction universes that you might be playing on your tabletop. Again, guys, fantastic work getting all of that out, which means that, let me activate our endurance version, and then we'll turn off, we need to turn off the Typhon, Erebus top and standard interior. So the suits, this is what we were supposed to get, and maybe I can hit focus. I might even see if the lighting works on this single item. Probably not, but hey, it looks a bit fancier. And I mean, you can kind of see here the detail we're talking about. You've got your backpack, you've got your boots separate. This is probably more designed for resin because you would need some sort of support, so we'll figure it out. This is just a concept. You can see the helmet is separate. I love doing this kind of detail. It really brings things to life. And this will fit really well along with our, suit up version of Maddie. We've got the sleeping version. This time with the eyes actually closed. Someone pointed out that our Maddie figure for the hypersleep chamber actually has the eyes open. A nostalgia, so to speak. I like that show, y'all. I like that. So let's see. 93 seconds to go. And I think we've reached as many backers as we're going to reach. I would be very shocked if we get any more. I have to admit, I said to people, I don't, if we hit 30,000 euros, I'd be very happy. And I would be ecstatic if we hit 40, 500 backers. And we got pretty darned close. And we may yet reach that by the time, it gets onto Frontiers. So what other variants of Maddie would you like to see? Let me know in the chat. What else is there to talk about? I mean, we can look at anything you guys want to see in particular. But right now, and I guess you guys are on a lag of about 30 seconds or something like that. So we'd be getting very close at this point in time when I'm speaking now to when it's actually finished, because I have 30 seconds left. This is it, I think. We've got 454,000 crowns approximately, just shy of 40,000 euros, 478 backers, 15 seconds to go. I like that the chat's live, and there's always like, will someone just squeeze in? And I guess we'll see too how this late pledge thing works, because I've never seen it. Here we go, 2, 1, and we're funded. What a relief. What a relief. That feels good, guys. That feels good. And thank you. I know most of you here in the chat actually backed. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry if I've been spamming you guys with updates. It really is hard to know where I can reach people. And I kind of use the avenues that I have available to me. I can't just rip everyone's customer data because of the GDPR. Many customers are old customers, and I was slack and never got to the point where I think our mailing list is only like 450 people, but technically we've served 3,000 plus customers. So it's like, I'm trying to get out there, and this is a small company. Now, whilst that money goes to developing Persephone, and of course getting out the finished products. It also is going to keep the lights on here, and this will let us get through to our Traveller Kickstarter. If you guys want to know what that's all about, Mongoose have recently launched the 5th Frontier War campaign, and a couple of supplements are on the way for that. Basically, Matthew was like, couldn't we do like some tanks and Zodani and Imperial troops? And I was like, yeah, sure. And we need some other stuff. We polled the Traveller community. I think we got more than 200 people responded to that, so we got a great idea about what direction to take things in. And honestly, Soul Survivor, this kind of design with the Erebus is really, this is what I'm most passionate about. And I love Traveller, but I'd love to be in a position where I can influence the design of Traveller as well. And that may start to become possible, because when we talked, we polled the community, okay, if we were ever to do a Traveller ship again, like we did the Type S, we did the Type J, we did the Beowulf, and we did Instead's miniatures. Those ship miniatures would take forever if we had to design a ton of different ships. But we managed to achieve some really cool designs, but they're more like retro old school. I'm not in love with the Mongoose edition versions of things. They've gone in a different direction. And I asked Matthew, can I do some classic ships? And he's like, we'd prefer if you didn't. We want things to be more distinct. And I said, okay, well, what about a compromise? What if I design something new that fits in with the model, but it's like not old and not Mongoose, but something, that can fit into it? And he's like, that could work. And with the old Mark Miller used to argue that, there's thousands of different shipyards and tons of different variants of the sort of core ships, so there's plenty of room for it. But maybe this time we'll have a Mongoose stat up of it. But the ship, if we did do it, would be the Empress Morava, or Mavara. I always get that confused, but yeah, I'm not saying we're going to do it. We need to get through this 5th Frontier War campaign first. Also, we need to deliver this thing. But it will basically, I'm planning to get this delivered for my holidays at the end of July. And then we will start the Kickstarter for the Traveller campaign. Probably the week of the 25th of August, I'd say. So we'll see how that goes. I hope that you can make the dream come true. Me too. Ground crew as NPCs would be awesome. Clive, have you seen Operation Maelstrom? Because we did that last year. Let's click over to that real quick. It was more like starfighters and that sort of thing. But what we actually included with it were pilots, drivers, scramble people, and ground crew in particular. So maybe there is a picture down here of some of the miniatures that we did, along with these cool sort of smaller vehicles. And let's get to it, because I'm pretty sure we've got, for example, our ground crew, and we have like spacesuit versions, and we have where they show where they haven't got their helmets on. So there are a couple of different variants that we have, but these I think came out really cool. So you should check those out if you're looking for more ground crew. But when we do Persephone, you're talking about for the Traveller campaign, I'm trying to argue for, and it seems it's been approved now, that we'll be doing 2 tanks, like 1 for each faction, 2 APCs for each faction, and then maybe some add-ons or stretch goals with additional factions, because I don't think we'll be doing more of these miniatures. But I want to have tank pilots. I want to have security guards. I keep wanting to say psychers, but I guess scions is I think the word for like Zidani Scions, spies, naval officers, travelers, like anything I can get approved, basically. What did you miss? We unlocked all the stretch goals. Marchinko. Yeah, that's Marchinko. That seems right. So yeah, we what 479 backers? How does that work? Did we just miss that there was one extra person right at the end, or is that like late backers? In any case, yeah, we unlocked all of the stretch goals we had posted up, so we just managed to squeeze past thanks to this wonderful community and get the suit lockers ready for release. So this was the last stretch goal, and oh no, I left the lighting on. Yeah, it gets very choppy when you leave the lighting on. And most of these lights too in the scene are designed for rendering. So it's just the thing with Maya. This is called the viewport, and it has its own lighting system, more like a computer game. Only it doesn't seem to be anywhere near as powerful. And then you have the render system, Arnold, and they don't always line up with the light strengths. Hey Dalton, nice to see you. We just got funded on that one, but again, you can make late pledges. I don't quite know how this worked. I guess it says now, this campaign successfully funded on May 29th, but you can still pledge for available rewards, including the physical prints of Erebus. So for this coming week only, until like we get the approved list of who has successfully paid as a customer, you'll be able to buy the Erebus physical model at the prices that John set for that. So I think in total we probably only got about let's see, about 30. I know there's slightly more than that because some people have added them as add-ons and whatnot. So it is quite considerably less than what we had for the Traveller Small Craft, but I think to most of the people that are backing for the Erebus and Soul Survivor are proper second Dynasty fans that already own a 3D printer, so that's not so surprising. Although I do wish we could have reached that wider audience too, so maybe we will in the future, we'll see. I think that's up to making like a really successful pitch film. And if we've got all that extra time, I think I can what I'd love to do with Persephone is recreate that landing sequence of the Nostromo on LV-426. Basically the same sort of essence as that. That would be a goal. So hopefully we can sort of manage that. Now I'm going to wind things down in a minute. Beowulf was my first ever big print on my Bamboo P1P. Erebus will be my second. Oh nice. I'm pretty sure Erebus will be considerably faster, even though the P1P is a very fast printer. So yeah, and we prototyped it at 0.2 layer height, and it still looks great. Have it land without it breaching the hull. Yeah, well, it's a smaller ship, so maybe it can manage it a bit better. I can imagine that trying to land a 330 meter ship is considerably harder than in 0.8 gravity. Is considerably harder than something that is a fraction of the size. Even if it'll be one of our larger ships, I'm pretty sure Persephone is only about 50 meters, something like that at scale. So it's about the same length, or maybe a bit shorter. It's about the same length as a Beowulf, but a hell of a lot more interior space. And it will be more modular, as in customizable with open lock tiles. And hopefully the hull itself we can make semi modular. So like we did for I wanted to say Cerberus, but what I mean is Chimera. So we'll see. But yeah, 16 stretch goals unlocked, so many cool miniatures, and again, we've got that little bit of fan service coming your way. Kai Shiniko did do some updates, but I think he sent through the wrong ones. So I want to just check that off real quick. Let's see. Maybe there's something I can share, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's this one. She was meant to look a little bit more startled than she does, so we'll probably do a little bit more face work. She just needs a bit of ruffling in the brow. And then we have the sleeping version, which is just a little bit more restful than it was. And then a third pose, which I will show you what we got, but it's not what we're going to finish with. Just sort of like the trying to point towards a switch. We're not going to have this cramped look in motion. We're just going to have a standing. And basically, all of this is just like block out. But you can see the hair is out as well, so we might be able to reuse the heads in other poses and do some variants. I mean, this is a different thing we're doing, I guess, with our where do I want to be? Sorry, there we go. With our sorry, it is 12:15 almost. I mean, our miniatures, rather than do a wide variety of different miniatures with a single pose, we've chosen to go for like, you know, the same miniatures with multiple poses. And that will give you, because the other thing too is, when it comes to miniatures, Ben is rendering. I like that, Lillian. Yeah, just congrats, Second Dynasty. The team just really built a great company and fan base. Look forward to the future. Thank you, Marquine Co. Hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, I just you could send those files over for inspection. Grana Priego says, I've pledged a physical print. I don't have a printer or even know many people who do, so physical print was a great option. Just so you know, Graham Priego, we will include some STL files of the actual ship itself. So in case in the future you do want it reprinted yourself or elsewhere, it's kind of, like, we kind of had the concept or idea of it being like, if you buy an RPG book, a physical copy, like Mongoose would include the PDF. And in fact, if you can prove proof of purchase, they will give you the PDF anyway, even if you didn't buy it from them. And we like that kind of stuff, so we just want to sort of attach it. And also, you know, getting those files will help you keep updated on what's new and whatnot. But yeah, there will be opportunities. We are looking into if we can do like resin windows or that sort of thing as a sort of like option. I know John also is going to offer like a higher fidelity version if people want to pay for that. My mate Brian Jenkins is currently painting a version that's like at 0.12 millimeter layer height on a 0.2 millimeter nozzle. It looks fantastic. I'm in a similar boat. I have an FDM printer but not an SLA, and the figures do better in SLA print, so I'm looking forward to those in the future. So John has ordered a DLP printer that is supposed to be really good for that sort of thing. So for the Traveller one, we are looking to do physical miniatures as well as the vehicles, physical and STL at the same time. So hopefully, you know, we do more projects like that moving forward. The Traveller one was very encouraging with over 100 sold. Here we're only at about 30, so not quite the response we were hoping for. But I think a part of it is just like, you know, we're trying to appeal to a new audience that doesn't really know what we do. And when I targeted with ads, to be fair, I targeted for people that have an interest in 3D printing. So, not so weird. Anyway, I am going to wrap things up because it's getting late here, and I don't want to wake my wife or dog up if I can help it when I come home. So I'm going to start packing up things. I will send an update before I go to bed on the state of things and how everything is all going. But I will do that from home and not on the live stream itself. So thank you so much for supporting us. I absolutely have loved designing these ships. I'm going to absolutely love bringing them to life on your tabletop. And an extra special thank you to I think we had, was it 2 people? Yeah, 2 people that loved us enough that they went for the kitchen sink. Look, I know it's a ridiculously expensive item at 1,100 euros, but it includes over 6,000 euros worth of products, and it's kind of like it gets to a point where it's like we can't keep offering, like, I don't know how we're going to split this up in the future because it's completely unaffordable. I remember when the collector pack was only $400. So anyway, to that and the person who backed us at 500 for the single physical Typhon that we will be offering. Oh, that was the wrong one. There it is there. So yeah, we were just doing one for that, and we really appreciate that. And we absolutely have zero problems. If you own a 3D printer but you're not getting the kind of quality that John can get, you're not pushing someone else out of the way if you want to order a physical print, honestly. We have the bandwidth and capacity to deliver that. Alright, with that said, I am going to go into OBS and I am going to end the stream. So I will be back on Friday with a regular stream. Tomorrow I'm going to take the day off. I think I've deserved it. It's always quite intensive to be working on a Kickstarter because there's even if this was our 11th one and we know what we're doing at this point, at least as far as the campaign content is concerned, it really takes it out of you. So much love to you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being here tonight or watching this back later on. We love you at Second Dynasty, and take care. Bye guys.